We all know that they find these ancient civilizations underneath
Atlantis.
the ocean.
It's unlikely an ancient civilization would have dropped 6 stones into such a perfect arrangement from boats on the surface.
The Rocky Mountains were evacuated after scientists uncovered a chilling secret beneath their ancient peaks. Evidence of catastrophic volcanic forces suggests the region's stability is far more fragile than anyone imagined. Experts are racing to unravel the truth, fearing the worst for communities in its shadow. Tune in as the Rockies' buried secrets threaten to erupt, with unimaginable consequences. How the Rockies shaped North America. Standing at the base of the Rocky Mountains, it's impossible to ignore their massive presence. Stretching across over 3,000 miles and cutting through 2 countries, these mountains are more than just tall peaks and scenic views. They're like nature's backbone, silently influencing everything from the weather to history, ecosystems, and even economies. But hidden within their ancient stone is a secret so profound it could rewrite the story of the mountains themselves. These towering giants don't just sit there, they actually mess with how air and moisture flow across the continent. When warm, wet air comes in from the Pacific, it crashes into the Rockies and the air has no choice but to go up. As it climbs, it cools off and dumps rain or snow on the western slopes. That's why places like the Pacific Northwest are so green and wet. But on the eastern side, it's a whole different story.
In the United States, the rain shadow effect has had significant implications for agriculture and urban development.
The air warms up again as it descends, drying out the land. This rain shadow effect leaves parts of the Great Plains and beyond super dry, making farming and water management a constant battle. These patterns aren't just minor details, they're the foundation of how water is distributed across North America. Snow melting off the Rockies feeds major rivers, providing essential water supplies for farming and cities in states like Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana. Without this annual water boost, droughts would hit much harder, leaving vast areas struggling to sustain crops and communities. Wildlife in the Rockies thrives because of the mountain's range of climates. At higher elevations, alpine meadows burst with life, while lower down, thick forests are home to creatures like elk, moose, and bighorn sheep. Birds too rely on these habitats, whether for nesting or as rest stops during migration. The biodiversity here is tightly connected to the broader health of the continent, showing how everything in nature is linked. But the Rockies' role in shaping life isn't just about ecosystems and water. Scientists recently stumbled upon something that has them rethinking the mountain's past. Deep under the Rockies, they found traces of ancient volcanic activity. This revelation suggests that the Rockies weren't always the stable mountain range we see today.
The Rockies were created by the most powerful geologic forces on Earth.
Millions of years ago, they might have been part of an active volcanic hotspot, reshaping the land with eruptions and changing the climate in ways we're only beginning to understand. This discovery has opened the door to more questions about how the Rockies formed and how those processes influence the environment over millennia. The idea that volcanic activity could have shaped these mountains challenges old geological theories and adds another layer of complexity to the history of this region. It's like uncovering a whole new chapter in the story of North America's landscape. And it's not just the rocks that hold secrets. Beneath the Rockies lies a wealth of resources that have shaped economies for generations. Gold, silver, copper, and other metals hidden in these mountains have sparked rushes, driven industries, and even influenced where towns and cities popped up. The wealth pulled from these mines has powered everything from early settlements to modern technology, making the Rockies an economic powerhouse in ways many people don't think about. Beyond minerals, the Rockies have also been a barrier and a guide for human movement. For centuries, indigenous peoples and settlers alike navigated these rugged terrains, finding ways to adapt to the harsh conditions or using the mountains as a natural shield. This isolation allowed unique cultures to thrive on either side, shaping the history of the continent in ways that are still felt today. In more recent times, explorers uncovered a hidden cave system buried within the Rockies. Packed with fossils dating back millions of years, these caves have given scientists a rare glimpse into life before humans. Accessing such remote parts of the mountains is no easy feat. The steep cliffs, dense forests, and wild landscapes act as natural barriers, keeping many areas untouched for centuries. This ruggedness not only preserved the caves but also protected the stories locked inside them. It's humbling to think about what might still be hidden, waiting for the right person to uncover it. The Rockies' economic impact doesn't stop with resources and fossils. Tourism is another major player, with millions of people visiting each year to ski, hike, fish, and camp. National parks and outdoor adventures draw crowds from around the world, pumping money into local economies and supporting everything from small businesses to large-scale industries. In Colorado alone, the tourism industry thrives because of the Rockies, showing how nature can be both beautiful and profitable. However, the Rockies' influence isn't all positive. The same rain shadow effect that helps some areas thrive leaves others struggling. Dry conditions on the eastern side mean farming relies heavily on irrigation, and water conservation is a constant challenge. Meanwhile, industries like oil and gas extraction have raised questions about sustainability, with some wondering how long these resources will last or how their use impacts the environment. The ecosystems within the Rockies are as diverse as they are fragile.
The northern Rockies are made of sedimentary rock like sandstone, shale, and limestone.
High-altitude meadows are dotted with colorful wildflowers during the short summer season, while dense pine and aspen forests provide shelter for countless animals. Predators such as mountain lions and wolves play crucial roles in maintaining balance, preying on deer and elk populations. Without these predators, ecosystems can become unbalanced, leading to overgrazing and habitat destruction. Seasonal changes in the Rockies add another layer of complexity to these ecosystems. Winter blankets the mountains in deep snow, forcing animals to adapt or migrate. Elk and moose descend to lower elevations where food is easier to find, while hibernating animals like bears retreat to dens. The melting snow in spring breathes new life into rivers and streams, replenishing water supplies and setting the stage for a burst of growth across the region. Human history in the Rockies is filled with tales of survival, exploration, and adaptation. Indigenous peoples were the first to call these mountains home, developing deep knowledge of the land and its resources. They used natural passes to traverse the rugged terrain and relied on the mountains for food, shelter, and spiritual practices. For many indigenous groups, the Rockies were considered sacred, a place where the physical and spiritual worlds intertwined. With the arrival of European settlers, the relationship with the Rockies changed dramatically. The mountains became both a barrier and a gateway, challenging pioneers who sought to expand westward. Wagon trails, railroads, and later highways carved through the rugged landscape, connecting distant parts of the continent but also leaving lasting marks on the environment. The Rockies are not just a story of the past. They continue to shape the present in ways that affect millions of lives. Water from the Rockies supports agriculture in urban areas far beyond the mountain range itself. Major rivers like the Colorado River and the Missouri River begin in these mountains, carrying their waters to places as far away as California and the Gulf of Mexico. This interconnectedness highlights the critical role the Rockies play in sustaining life across a vast region. The natural beauty of the Rockies also plays a significant role in shaping cultural and artistic expression. The towering peaks, dramatic valleys, and ever-changing light have inspired countless artists, writers, and photographers. National parks like Rocky Mountain National Park and Banff National Park attract millions of visitors, drawn not only by the promise of adventure, but also by the chance to experience the raw, untamed beauty of the landscape. Despite their grandeur, the Rockies are not immune to threats. Climate change poses significant challenges, with rising temperatures affecting snowpack levels and altering ecosystems. Forest fires, often exacerbated by drought conditions, have become more frequent and intense, threatening both wildlife and human communities. Efforts to protect and conserve the Rockies have taken on new urgency as scientists and policymakers work to address these pressing issues. The geology of the Rockies is another layer of fascination. These mountains were formed over millions of years through a combination of tectonic activity, erosion, and sedimentation. Fossils embedded in the rocks tell stories of ancient seas, forests, and creatures that once inhabited the region.
The caves, hidden for millennia, contained a wealth of prehistoric fossils that had never been seen before.
Each layer of rock is like a page in a history book, offering clues about the planet's past and the forces that shaped it. Mining in the Rockies has left a complicated legacy. While the extraction of resources like gold, silver, and coal has driven economic growth, it has also led to environmental challenges. Abandoned mines and tailings piles dot the landscape, posing risks to water quality and ecosystems. Transportation infrastructure in the Rockies is both a marvel of engineering and a testament to human determination. From early wagon trails to modern highways and railroads, these routes have connected people and goods across the continent. The steep grades and rugged terrain present constant challenges, requiring innovative solutions to ensure safe and efficient travel. These transportation networks have not only shaped economic development, but also influenced patterns of settlement and migration. Just as the Rockies reveal their rugged beauty and layered history, the journey turns eastward to a region equally steeped in natural wonders and historical depth. Forts and trade routes. Michigan has always been a fascinating blend of natural beauty and deep history. Nestled among its forests and lakes, this Midwestern gem hides secrets that have taken years to uncover. Recently, scientists and researchers have stumbled upon some mind-blowing finds that rewrite what we thought we knew about the region's past. Back in 2021, archaeologists digging in St. Joseph County uncovered what they believed to be a campsite from 13,000 years ago. It belonged to the Clovis people, early inhabitants of North America known for their unique spear points. Before this discovery, most believed the area was too harsh for humans at that time because of Ice Age glaciers. But here's the kicker. The site wasn't just any old campsite. The team found tools like scrapers, spear points, and even bone fragments, suggesting this was a hub for processing large game like mastodons and caribou. It was clear these early people had developed techniques to survive and adapt to challenging environments. This discovery showed how early humans overcame tough climates and made use of everything around them to survive. It challenges earlier ideas about when and how people began living in the Great Lakes area. Beneath the waves of a major lake in the region near Grand Traverse Bay, there's something straight out of a mystery novel. Researchers have found stone formations sitting 40 feet underwater that look eerily like Stonehenge. These stones are arranged in circles and lines, and one of them even has a carving of a mastodon, a creature that roamed the region more than 10,000 years ago.
Unbelievable! A mastodon carving on a rock that hasn't seen daylight in at least 5,000 years.
That means this site was created at the tail end of the Ice Age. While no one knows for sure why the stones were placed like this, theories range from ceremonial purposes to tools for navigation or tracking seasons. These formations suggest the people of that time had a surprisingly deep understanding of their world, blending practicality with spiritual or astronomical observation. Moving forward a few millennia, archaeologists at Colonial Michilimackinac have been digging up relics of life in an 18th century fort. This place was originally built by the French in 1715 and later taken over by the British. Among the artifacts found are musket balls, brass trade rings, glass beads, and even pieces of ceramics. These items paint a vivid picture of the bustling trade and cultural exchange between European settlers and indigenous communities. The region's underground is just as intriguing. It is home to vast networks of caverns, many carved out over millions of years by water erosion. These caverns have become time capsules, preserving fossils and artifacts that date back thousands of years. Explorers have found remains of prehistoric creatures like mastodons and ancient fish. Some caves even held tools and pottery fragments, hinting that early humans used these spaces for shelter, rituals, or storage. These discoveries help researchers piece together what life looked like in the past and how the environment evolved over time. The conditions inside these caverns have also preserved delicate materials that would normally degrade on the surface, providing a unique window into prehistoric ecosystems and human activity. From Michigan's past, the focus moves to rugged lands shaped by resilience and change. Crystals and bogs. Up in the Upper Peninsula, archaeologists have been uncovering evidence of settlements that were long forgotten. These sites, dating back centuries, reveal a lot about the early interactions between European explorers and indigenous groups. Artifacts and remnants of structures help tell the story of trade networks, cultural exchanges, and how communities adapted to their environment. It's fascinating to think about how these early groups survived and thrived in such a remote and rugged area. The remains of these settlements highlight the ingenuity and resilience of the people who lived there, showcasing how they used local resources and navigated the challenges of their time. Meteorites, those rare pieces of rock from space, have also made a mark on this state. Over the years, several have landed here, giving scientists invaluable clues about the solar system's history. Each discovery adds another piece to the puzzle of how planets form and evolve. These space rocks might be small, but they hold answers to some of the biggest questions about the universe. Studying them can reveal information about the conditions in space when the solar system was forming, offering a unique perspective on the history of our cosmic neighborhood. One of the state's more mysterious features is the Paulding Light. In a valley in the Upper Peninsula, people have reported seeing a strange light for decades. Explanations range from ghost stories to car headlights. Some scientists think geological factors might be at play. Whatever the cause, the Paulding Light remains an unsolved mystery that continues to draw curious visitors.
I think I've heard recently that Paulding is Ojibwa for glowing earth or something like that.
The phenomenon has sparked both folklore and scientific curiosity, making it a popular topic for those fascinated by the unexplained. Under the waters of the Great Lakes, the area holds another trove of secrets: shipwrecks. These lakes have swallowed countless vessels over the centuries. Recently discovered wrecks include everything from massive freighters to small tugboats. Each one tells a story of adventure, trade, or tragedy. These ships and their cargo are like snapshots of history, preserved by the cold, freshwater environment. The Great Lakes' unique conditions often keep shipwrecks in remarkably good shape, providing an unparalleled opportunity for researchers and historians to study maritime life from different eras. In Alpena, explorers have ventured into crystal caves that look like something out of a fantasy movie. These caves are full of stalactites, stalagmites, and glittering crystal formations made of minerals like calcite and gypsum. They formed over thousands of years as water slowly dripped and deposited minerals. Scientists study these caves to understand how the region's geology has changed over time. The formations also hold clues about ancient climate patterns and environmental shifts, making them not just beautiful but incredibly valuable for research. These underground wonders are both scientifically significant and visually stunning, drawing the attention of geologists and casual explorers alike. Another fascinating feature of the area is its peat bogs. These wetland areas have preserved ancient forests with trees that date back thousands of years. The bogs act like time capsules, keeping the wood and other organic material in remarkable condition. By studying these sites, scientists can learn about past ecosystems and how they responded to changes in climate over millennia. The conditions within the bogs have allowed researchers to uncover details about vegetation and animal life that would otherwise be lost to history. In July of 2024, construction workers in Traverse City stumbled upon something unexpected. About 4 feet below a construction site, they found bones believed to be human, along with wood and nails that might have been part of a coffin. This discovery has sparked further investigation to figure out the origins of these remains and what they might reveal about the area's history. The find has added a layer of intrigue to the construction project, highlighting how the past often intersects with modern life in surprising ways. Around the same time, in Ann Arbor near the University of Michigan, another discovery was made. Even more shipwrecks have come to light in Lake Michigan. One of the most notable is the 13-year-old tugboat John Evenson. These wrecks not only tell stories of the people who sailed on them, but also provide a window into the maritime history of the Great Lakes. Each wreck is a piece of the larger puzzle of how people lived, worked, and traveled in this region. The discoveries shed light on the risks and rewards of life on the water, offering a glimpse into the challenges faced by those who navigated the vast lakes. The state's natural and man-made features continue to surprise and captivate those who study them. From ancient forests buried in bogs to mysterious lights in the sky, it is a treasure trove of discoveries that keep challenging what we think we know about the past. Do these shipwrecks change history, or are they just old boats? Share your thoughts, like this post, and subscribe to learn more about Lake Michigan's mysteries.